So the wadding is all trimmed all around. Now just take the corners off, trim the corners down, cut through the stitching. And that's important because that reduces bulk in the little box and makes it easier to manage. And then turn everything through to the right side. So just carefully turn it through. And if you have ready some little gadget that'll help you to pull out the corners and to set the seams. It will all come through. Now, I suppose I'm just using little cotton wadding here. You can use any, and I suppose that's what most quilters would have. I have done these with some of the foam wadding, and that works really well too, but I find it works better on the slightly larger bags or bins. Now push out your corners, use your chopstick, your purple thang, these little stirrers that you find in coffee shops that you get to stir your sugar if your coffee, work really well too. Wiggle out or push out your corners as best you can with all of it. And then you can excuse me, this is where now you can decide to have the little bit of fun, either practicing your free motion quilting, if you want to do something like cross hatch, just maybe use some fancy threads or some fancy stitches on your machine, whatever you want to do. But the quilting actually is what is going to help to stabilize the box, that it will actually hold its little bit of shape when you use it. I would suggest that you do some sort of an edge, again either using a fancy stitch or the straight stitch on your machine, at least 1/8 of an inch, so as close as you can to the edge. But get in and roll out that edge, get a nice, as crisp an edge as you can to finish out, just gives a nice finish, sorry, to your box or your little bin, whatever you want to call it, when it's done. Now give that a nice bit of a pressing. I haven't got an iron here, but press that, stitch around the edge just to hold it, and that will close your little opening as well for you. And then decide how you're going to quilt it. On this little one here, I just did, because it's a small, this was only this again was about a 6-inch one as well, small, this was 8-inch actually, 8-inch. I just did a fancy stitch around the edge, around the whole square, and then used another stitch just to corner to corner on it. That worked out all right. This little one I just did straight line sewing, again at coming across from edge to edge as opposed to straight up and down. This one I used, as I mentioned already, this one I used the fancy stitches on my machine through each of the lines, the joinings of the different fabrics. This one I used just a wavy stitch to quilt it. You can cross hatch, so it's entirely, you could do your free motion, anything at all that you want to do. So I'll come back when I have this one up to the same level, and we'll look at how to actually construct and put the box together.